Warning! The following review does not contain spoilers. If you're watching this to find out any relevant plot points for the most anticipated film of the year, you've come to the wrong place. If you're uncertain, however, as to whether or not you want to watch the film, or you just want a full analysis of the quality of the film, keep watching. As this is the most anticipated and hyped up film of the year, not until I finish delivering this review will I have read or watched any official reviews on the subject. Furthermore, in my lead up to watching The Force Awakens, I avoided any biased opinions on the film like the plague. I say this so that you know that I'm offering you my most genuine response, because I love you all so much. It was August 1999. I sat in a dark room with my family, watching thousands of yellow letters flooding a starlit sky, all set to music that was distinctly reminiscent of Superman. After almost a minute, I became exhausted and wondered if the whole movie would just consist of writing I didn't quite understand. But not 1 minute later, I witnessed my first lightsaber, and I was hooked. 16 years have passed, and I'm sitting in a different dark room. I hear that music from all those years ago, but the yellow writing is different. This time I can actually understand it. Yet it all feels incredibly surreal. Am I really watching a Star Wars film? Does that familiar tune greeting my eardrums like an old friend, paired with that iconic title design, did they really say, with all honesty, this is Star Wars? As much as I loved The Phantom Menace when I was 6, it didn't take long for me to realise that it was actually quite flawed, and for a lot of people that was a very disappointing film. Of course, it doesn't compare to the originals, and a lot of people don't even consider it to be the real thing. So I sit there, my mind is split between scanning the screen for essential backstory and thinking about what makes Star Wars, Star Wars. Although it's a melting pot of various global mythologies and cultural traits, the Star Wars universe is a unique creation. From the concept of the Force to the characteristic tools and weapons, from the starship design to the distinctive locations, everything combines to create a unified flavour. Sure, certain dishes have different interpretations, but the core ingredients always stay the same. The Force Awakens retains these. Lightsabers are lightsabers, and the Force is the Force. There's even no mention of midichlorians, a word which even my spell check frowns upon. It's safe to say that this new venture keeps all the essential mythology intact. The original trilogy favoured a brand of storytelling that effectively combined drama, adventure, and humour. But as we all know, any narrative worth telling is worth telling because of its characters. Star Wars, the original hope, took classic archetypes from literature and turned them into iconic characters, thanks to a combination of novel costume design, unique motivations, and memorable performances. Episode 7 brings some fresh meat to the table with actors Daisy Ridley and John Boyega, as well as recently established stars such as Adam Driver and Oscar Isaac. The writers, including original trilogy veteran Lawrence Kasdan, craft a story that flows naturally from its chronological predecessors, allowing newcomers and old-timers to relate or clash in exciting ways. Speaking of the old-timers, these don't just phone in their performances. Thankfully, we actually get the real deal. At first, I was a little concerned about Harrison Ford, given his recent films. I feared he might be a grumpy, half-hearted Han Solo, but the Han Solo and Chewie that we get are the characters we know and love. As for the newcomers, they imbue Episode 7 with the right balance of dramatic weight and comedic levity to convince me that the series' future is in good hands. Now, one of the things that 2015 cinema has done so well is give us strong female action heroes. From Charlize Theron in Mad Max to Rebecca Ferguson in Mission Impossible, and now with Daisy Ridley as Rey, who might just be my favourite of the lot. In short, I can't wait to see these characters return in 2017. In 1977, Star Wars blew audiences' collective minds with something they hadn't seen before. Now in 2015, we live in a time where such luxuries are blue steak rare. Our blockbuster cinema has become so saturated with special effects that the adage special has become a little redundant. There seem to be two main problems: lack of creativity and focusing on effect rather than story. Seeing as I've already addressed storytelling, it comes down to the imagination and inventiveness on display. Director J.J. Abrams and special effects coordinator Chris Corbould addressed this issue immediately. Now, Corbould is Hollywood's go-to guy for practical effects. He's the man responsible for that exercise in deconstructing gravity in the hallway scene from Inception. Let's face it, is one of the most memorable sequences of the last 10 years. The man breathes inventiveness. Thanks to him and the visual effects team, computer elements and practical elements blend seamlessly. Furthermore, there are plenty of moments that showcase things we've never seen in a Star Wars film before. This creativeness also translates to the impressive cinematography. The camera is as much a storytelling tool as it is concerned with aesthetics. There are extreme wide shots and clever camera movements that rank among the best. And now we must talk about the lightsaber fights. In the prequels, George Lucas took us to see the ballet with glow sticks. Although it looked great, sometimes it took away from the emotional weight of the scenes. Abrams took the lightsaber duel back to a more sophisticated time when we got a sense of the drama in every blow. For me, when it comes to spectacle, the audio is just as important as the visual. Thankfully, we have another excellent score from the legendary John Williams. Combining nostalgia with fresh material, the galaxy's sonic landscape is as stellar as ever. And of course, I bought the soundtrack. Overall, The Force Awakens has made a real spectacle of itself. In a good way, of course. Now, back in June, in my review for Pixar's Inside Out, I stated that it was my favourite film of the year. And throughout the course of the year, that position hasn't changed. Until now. As much as I love that film, I can't deny the victor its rightful place. Star Wars The Force Awakens is my #1 film of 2015. And of course, it was an amazing experience. Now, there's bound to be people who are really disappointed by this film. I mean, it's probably the most hyped up film of the decade. Of course it would fall short for some people. But I'm sure that for most of us, this is the Star Wars we were looking for. You will not complain. As always, please like and leave a comment in the comment section below. And may the Force be with you.